it's hard to remember a time before Nick Knowles was all over our TV screens. The popular presenter has been host of DIY SOS since it launched in 1999 and has been a staple at the BBC ever since, aside from a brief absence due to a Shreddies scandal. The 59-year-old has also hosted a number of game shows over the years, including Who Dares Wins, Break the Safe and 5-Star Family Reunion, as well as daytime series Real Rescues. But how did Nick get into the presenting game and what was his life like before? Having been born in Southall, Middlesex, Nick moved to Mildenhall in Suffolk at the age of 11, then to Tunbridge Wells in Kent, and left school at the age of 16. Nick, whose full name is actually Nicholas Simon Augustine Knowles, used to make money with an illegal activity when he was a youngster. Get the news you want straight to your inbox. Sign up for a Mirror newsletter here. I used to go fishing a lot in the rivers, and illegally catch trout from a trout river and sell them to a restaurant. I used the money to buy fish and chips, he told the Eastern Daily Press in 2017. After quitting school at 16, Nick went into a variety of jobs, including laboring on building sites, working in a petrol station and selling shoes and carpets. However, he had a passion for music and was constantly writing songs, poetry while also playing in bands from the age of 14. He submitted a script to a BBC Two program that invited kids to make a video and became a runner in television production. Nick said, "They gave me a film crew to shoot all the film I wanted to make. I loved it so much I thought that's what I want to do, and I spent the next 2 years trying to get into television." He became a reporter for TVs in the Southeast on the nightly news program Coast to Coast and presented Ridge Riders for ITV, which featured a celebrity and another 1 or 2 guests riding classic motorcycles along off-road tracks around the UK. On putting work first, he told the Evening Standard in 2008, "I always have done. If I have to work 7 days a week for 8 months, I'll do it, and have done it." In the early days, I'd have 3 jobs in 3 cities on the go. I'd sleep in my car, or at service stations. I remember working 7 days a week when I was trying to sort out my divorce. It's just something I do. I keep going. He added, "I feel I have to earn enough to cover every eventuality, to give my family that security. I don't think he'll ever be able to get past the fact that I grew up on a council estate in Southall, West London, with nothing. I expect to lose it all any minute. In this industry, I feel as if I'm on a tightrope that someone shakes every so often, and nearly everyone falls off. I always expect to be next." Nick has been the host of DIY SOS since the show began 23 years ago, but did miss an episode in November last year due to a scandal involving Shreddies. For the first time in the series' history, Nick sensationally stood down after breaking the BBC's rules and did not take part in the Big Build Children in Need special. Bosses were reported to be on the verge of sacking their main man after he inadvertently broke rules to star in an advert for Nestlé cereal. It was reported that Nick's contract forbids him to gain from mimicking his DIY SOS job, and BBC bosses hauled him in after he appeared as a builder called Nick Get It Done Knowles. The BBC editorial guidelines state that actors and artists who perform in BBC output should not appear in promotional work, including advertisements, in a way which mimics or replicates their on-air roles for the BBC. In a joint statement, the presenter and the BBC said, "Nick and the BBC have resolved the issue recently reported relating to Nick's commercial agreements and BBC guidelines. Because the ad campaign was still running and would not be pulled, it was decided that Nick would relinquish his hosting duties for this year's Children in Need special. There were fears he may be axed altogether, but the BBC confirmed that he was an important member of the BBC family and it was pleased that this matter is resolved." In his own heartfelt statement, Nick confirmed he would be returning and opened up on what the job means to him. The host added, "I have always said that DIY-SOS is more than just a presenting job for me, it's part of me, it has my heart, and working for the BBC for over 22 years is something I have never taken for granted." The DIY-SOS Children in Need special will air in November with a guest presenter and I will be cheering them on from the sidelines. "I urge you all to focus on the build which will ensure the children get much needed help, not about who is presenting the show. I will continue filming new episodes of DIY-SOS over the coming months and will be back on your screens with the purple shirts next year." Nick was replaced by Welsh comedian Rod Gilbert, and graciously took to Twitter to praise Rod for stepping in, saying he had real heat and real empathy. When Rod was announced as guest host in August, he said, "It's a great honor to step into Nick's enormous steel toe-capped boots and be involved in Children in Need." During the opening of the episode, the usual members of the team are seen driving a minivan to their big project in Hull, but pointed out that they were a man down as Nick is missing. "That's not really a problem though, is it?" says carpenter Mark Miller, before savagely joking, "All we need to do is find an old boy with a scruffy beard who knows absolutely nothing about building and we're laughing." Last month, Nick was quizzed on how it had been taking a backseat for an episode during an appearance on This Morning. "It was a bit odd, but I knew that it was only for the one show," he confessed. "It was basically a misunderstanding, we sorted it all out, but it meant that I couldn't do that one show. But then Rod came in and Rod Gilbert is such a lovely lad and he got emotionally involved with the whole story, so I thought he did a great job." Tough for people to walk in on something like that, but I think he did a great job. Nick will be back on our screens tonight when the DIY-SOS team and designer Son Astley head to Feghays in Stoke. There they meet Sue, whose family have lived there for 6 generations, and she set up the charity Sylvester's to help tackle issues of food poverty, isolation and mental health in the area. They have taken over a patch of wasteland in the heart of the community with the aim of creating a community center and garden with room to grow vegetables and space where old and young can share knowledge and experiences. Nick and the gang are determined to get the job done, and not even 3 of the worst storms to hit Britain in recent years will stop them. However, a straightforward build turns into a battle against the elements, but they are determined to help this community to help themselves. DIY-SOS airs tonight on BBC One at 8 p.m. Do you have a story to share? Email webfeatures@trinitymirror.com.